Okay, this is Chahta lesson 9. Our language is everywhere. If you go to southeast Oklahoma, into Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, you will find Choctaw words. Often they are spelled incorrectly and even slightly pronounced incorrectly, but nonetheless, these are Choctaw words. So we'll start off with the most obvious, Oklahoma. Before Oklahoma was Oklahoma, a state, it was Indian Territory. Now, Oklahoma is made of two words, Okla and Homa, meaning red people. Now, I've read maybe 2 or 3 little articles or stuff that have suggested that this word Oklahoma, when you put it together and remove one M, that it actually no longer means red people, but noble people. How true that is, I don't know. That'd be probably up to the language department up in Oklahoma. But on its own, Oklahoma means red people. Now, as you travel through southeast Oklahoma and Choctaw Territory, you will run across towns that are named after Choctaw words. You had a town called Nashoba, means wolf. Some of the towns are slightly misspelled. You have Yanash, Buffalo. There's a town that is called Tuscahoma, and that comes from the Choctaw word Tuskahoma, meaning red warrior, and it has a slightly incorrect spelling, but still, if you pronounce it even incorrectly, we still know it's Tuskahoma. Another town called Talihina, and Talihina comes from the Choctaw words Talihina, which means iron road. Hina means road or path, and Tali means iron. So Talihina means iron road. And that's a common thing in southeast Oklahoma. You will see Choctaw words all over the place: streets, rivers, towns. Now let's go to Louisiana. Louisiana is home of the Gina Band of the Choctaw Nation. Now, if you go to a little town down on I-10, going towards just south of New Orleans, you come across a town called Homa, Louisiana. Now, of course, it's also spelled incorrectly, but Homa means red, Homa, Louisiana. Now, if you're driving east on I-10 towards Homa, Louisiana, you're going to cross a river. And river is, again, it's a Choctaw word that is slightly misspelled and mispronounced. But it's on the maps, you'll find a river called the Atchafalaya River. And I believe there's also a state park or federal park there, forest there. It's called Atchafalaya River. Now, this is made up of 2 words, and one of the words is a word that we don't use often in the language. Because every language evolves, and we, like any language, as they evolve, there's some words that will become in disuse, and other words that will be created in place of it. So the correct way of pronouncing Atchafalaya is Hatchafalaya. Now, Hatchafalaya means long river. Hatcha is an old word for river. Nowadays we say bok. If that was we're going to say long river. Nowadays we say bokfalaya instead of Hatchafalaya. But Hatchafalaya is a remnant of an old word that's seldom used these days. Now, if you even travel even further east, you go into Mississippi and Alabama, you're going to run across a river called Bog Chito. And Bog Chito, it almost looks like it's almost like French also, but it's a Choctaw word. And like Atchafalaya River, Bog Chito, as we pronounce it in Choctaw, Bog Chito is big river. And it's sort of interesting how sometimes how these words end up becoming misspelled. I'm assuming it's Europeans who are now settling into those regions. And before the treaties were signed and the Indian Removal Act was signed, we were already intermixing with the Europeans, so they were learning parts of our language. And when they began naming towns and rivers and whatnot, we would say Bokjito. Them being maybe French settlers, they would write Bokjito, but it would be spelled slightly different. Same thing with Oklahoma. And Oklahoma is sort of a different. I don't quite understand. It was Indian territory, so we were actually the ones naming the cities and towns. So for Tuskahoma to become Tuskahoma, either someone in the town didn't know how to spell very well and they spelled it wrong, and it stuck, or perhaps European, named it. Don't know. But anyway, Bokjito, Big River, Atchafalaya, Long River. So that's all I have today. Hope you enjoyed. Choctaw is, if you go to Oklahoma, even in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, even into Georgia, you're going to see traces of Choctaw, Chickasaw, Alabama, Chahta. You're going to have, our language and our neighboring tribes that were akin to us, that have similar dialects, similar languages. You're going to see these names all throughout the southeast United States, all the way into the southern tip of Florida, where the Miccosukee and the Seminole live. They share a similar language family as we do. So that's all I have today. Hope you enjoyed. And open a map up and try to see if you can see some Choctaw words and get them translated and see what they actually mean. So hope you enjoyed. Peace to Lachiki. Hi-ya, hi-yo, hi-ya,